MakingStarWars.net.
Hi, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and today I will be reviewing Andor, Episode 4, Aldhani, and Rob will be reviewing Avatar from 2012.
I'm blue.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm blue.
How's it going?
And I got the ears. I'm all right, man. The COVID bivalent booster knocked my ass out last night, so otherwise it'd be on camera. But man, I look like Luthen when he puts on the getup. Got the wig, got the robe.
So you look good then. No, he looks good, man. He's all. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He goes like.
I love that. I almost wanted to do jazz hands.
I'm gonna start doing that before every show. I'm gonna be like.
That's the amount of effort it takes for me to go out into public too. Just so you know, like that's. Yeah.
I watched it again this morning, and my favorite part is still when he's talking to the lady and he goes, "Look at me!" That's still my favorite part. Yeah. I'm like, this motherfucker's crazy.
Fuck around, bro. He's got to keep them cats in the fucking shape, bro. Like they're out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they get a little bit lax, they get a little fucking out of
line. Oh, they're having orgies. They're naming their kids Moon, and they're not fighting. You got.
When my parents got divorced, my mom moved me out to National City.
Mm-hmm.
And that summer of '86, I had a babysitter whose name was Star.
Yeah.
Super cool teenage, but like I had never dealt with that hippie generation, the kids who parents named them after, moonbeams and shit. Like,
yeah.
I
can't lie. When Penny was coming for like 2 seconds, I considered, what if I named her Star Ward? And I laughed to myself, never really considering it. But
what a dick move,
right?
I would hate to, if my last name was Trek and my uncle's name be Star, I would have been like, you motherfucker. Like,
yeah. No, it has to just be close enough for that people think they're making a clever joke, like Drek. Like your last name is Drek, and then they call you Star. You're like Star Drek.
Not a lot of people know this, Jason, but my original birth last name was Locks. So my name is Rob Locks.
Rob Locks. Oh, I wish that was still. It's like I call you Loxley. Oh, fucking Prince Loxley had to sleep in today. Couldn't get on camera.
I was in Walmart land all night long.
There was a rich man from Nottingham. He wanted to cross the river. Trip on a rope. What a dope. No. Oh, sorry. I literally like that Robin Hood movie a lot.
Do you want to go through the whole thing in order or just rando?
As best of an order as we can. I'm down for. If I wasn't able to make notes because I was a sleepy little bitch like some people on the show. No, I mean I was too. I was a sleepy little bitch. I stayed up last night, and I had to do some stuff with the kids this morning. So I was like, so I did want to like outline it, and I plan on outlining the next one. So things are a little bit more coherent. But if we can, I mean, in terms of like this one, I guess just really quickly, like let's both kind of drop like our sort of our verdict so people know where we're going to go in case they just want to know that. And I got to say, for me, this is probably the best written little piece of 40-ish minutes of Star Wars I've ever seen in one go, in one stretch.
For me, it's like if you took that Bill Burr scene from Mando and you made a whole episode out of that, you know what I mean? Like that kind of tension and that kind of like seeding under the surface resentment and, fear and all that other shit, like it's like 40 minutes of that. Yeah. So I would agree. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And I don't mean to say like it can be, space opera or anything like that. Like, it's like a subjective, like, but just in terms of like, I mean, it is, I really don't have like a word choice I would even change, which I usually do. Yeah. Usually I'm like, that's the word you picked. I mean, you could have, I usually just have something like that. And
they named Homeboy Terramond after a curry paste. So that's hilarious. But other than that, I use that when I make Thai curry. It's Terramond.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, it's up there with boba and anything else. So,
Yeah. but yeah, I like I said this on the show last night, and it's like, if it's boring to you, it's boring to you. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to say you like it. You just go, hey, it is what it is. But I gotta say, like, if anybody had a problem with last night's episode, I just don't understand you.
I just want you to know, originally, Andor's original name was Corey. Coriander.
Coriander. Okay.
Coriander.
Stupid, right. George. You're stupid, George. Yeah. So how about you, man? Like, did you?
I could do.
I could do better than the first
100 hours. No, this is what when I say like film catalyst, this is what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that I really liked was, when we see concept art of the lower depths of Coruscant, it's always like from that concept artist, that LA concept artist, like, there's a lot of junk and wet streets, but going with brutalist architecture is way more fucking interesting to me.
I mentioned that last night too. I was like, when he goes to that apartment, oh my God, it's depressing. It reminds me of Cal State Fullerton, where I went, boy, is it sad.
Yeah, it successfully merges that THX 1138 aesthetic. And look, getting the Chernobyl dude was smart, because you get someone who already worked in that 60s, early 70s, like, Russian, like Eastern Wall, kind of like block of fucking nightmarish, atmosphere, and it just sits great. And this is the kind of Imperial, like more this, less Hux. You know what I mean? Like this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where there's this, it's not even arrogant. I don't know quite what to put it. It's like everyone is like the captain of their own world in a way. And there's always another person that can just immediately cut your head off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's very, very like pompous, self-aggrandizing, and then at the same time, it's like everybody's going for it and then being humiliated at the same time. It's really it's strange, and it's horrible.
I would say this. We'll go through it, but just the other thing is the music. This is when Natalie Holt was put on. I just wonder if when they're dealing with iconic characters, there's just way too much like stress and overthought sometimes, like I just wonder if I'm not saying on the person, I'm just saying like you ever work on a big thing where everyone's like I said, I've worked on quite a few big things, and it's like, you do hear it should be, I don't know, this, and then there's always this like change, but I she's a fantastic composer. I just think that this was what I was hoping for with that sort of in between episode 3 and 4 sound,
Well, yeah. This, I mean, I don't feel like that's what it is to me. The musically, it's just something completely different, entirely. But like, I don't really want to go down the Natalie Holt rabbit hole too far. But Natalie Holt's somebody who was brought in to do a thing. Then they brought in the old guy, but said you could do the old guy stuff, but you can't do the old guy stuff. Start doing the old guys. And they're like, we're not going to do the old guy stuff because you're telling us we can't. Then the old guy comes in.
That's
and then
what I'm saying.
They bring somebody else to bring in the old guy stuff. Yeah.
That's the overthink. I'm not talking from the composer's standpoint. I'm talking about from the company's standpoint. And I feel like had she been on this, you would have gotten something very similar either way. Like this, and like that other thing that they're doing with the space opera, like it's just, I don't know, man. Get a Kleiner brother or something.
Well, this isn't. But that's the thing. Is at the end of the day, you don't need those leitmotifs that are like Republic serials, that kind of shit. When Kenobi's going like, I just want to fucking end it, man. Like it's just not.
I want to end it. End it.
So
want to take my life.
So then you just end up with like those really sad little skelly down thingies, and so anyways, this one here though is sort of it's 1 foot in jazz at times. I'd say like there's a lot of dissonance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if you're aware, but originally Johnny, and he wrote lyrics to the Force theme, and it was I'll do it for you. It's I shit in a cave by myself, like that. That was it. I told him we couldn't do it, but the the hook was pretty good.
Oh, it's kind of like how he does when he does Superman. You can kind of hear Superman.
Yeah, I shit in a cave all by myself.
I shit in a cave, right?
Yeah.
Little green
I'm gonna go watch the hurricane.
All right. Little green fucker.
Yeah. Right.
I hear it now, George. I see what your methods were. It really makes sense.
Oh.
Oh no.
I like the sound of them lyrics. That's all I gotta say.
Dave, this isn't your thing, Dave. This isn't your thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did name them.
Go back to your tentacle girl fan fiction.
Oh, I will. Bye.
Bye. But the music is in a lot of ways it's very modern, but it doesn't really do any kind of Star Wars-y kind of things. But as I've watched episode 1 through 3 a lot more, I actually like this soundtrack better than any of the Star Wars TV stuff that they've done. Even B2's music, that shit's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know,
fantastic.
As I become familiar with it and listening to it, and you hear it and you're like, yeah, it's really good. But up front though, man, fucking Luthen is just the best Star Wars character they've created in years, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is, man. Like that is, like the fact that he's like, I don't know, like Batman were old and in Star Wars, like he puts on, he's got a little Batmobile, he's got a little Alfred robot, he's got a little front store, he puts on a wig, I always thought Bruce Wayne would have worn a wig like that, like get that big Steven Seagal hair going, like if it wasn't tucked into a ponytail and shit.
He's like, I got this big man, but of course I'm not Batman. Yeah.
I like how douchey Mon Mothma's husband is too. Like he's a pretty good character too. Like, just want to have fun.
I know. I
love they gave that to a guy for once. Usually that's a girl role, unfortunately. I always think. But guys are the ones. I just want to have fun, man. Like, what's the point of being rich and above it all if we can't be rich and above it all? Like,
right. Yeah. No. The interactions between Luthen and Cassian, I've seen a lot of people give credit to everybody in every single scene that Diego Luna is in, except for Diego Luna, and they are overlooking the fact that every single time he's giving those characters room, he's making you feel like you're seeing them through Cassian's. Like Diego Luna is doing a lot more in these scenes than the fandom is going to give him credit for.
This is not this is not an accurate 1-to-1, but it does remind me of coming out of that first Men in Black movie when everyone was like, Will Smith. And I'm like, actually, Tommy Lee Jones is giving the dude the room to work there, Like, and only 20 years later, they bring up the speech where, where he tells them about, think about what you're going to learn tomorrow. Like that, without that guy delivering it that way, that movie doesn't play the same way. So it's one of those unsung roles. But what's cool, man, is actors get what he's doing. So, he's probably getting lots of props and shit. And he doesn't have look, I'll be honest, maintaining what the term maintain your bearing is? It's a military term for don't have a shit-eating grin. Don't speak with your eyes. Maintain your bearing, right? So
the opposite of acting.
I don't know if you're aware. I'm a little animated, so even in basic, it was something I had to really learn to do, and I think he's learned it because I'd be like, this motherfucker. I gave that look to a drill sergeant once, and that dude wanted to rip my fucking head off.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. I could always find something to be critical about. Obviously, it's what I'm good at. But it's what the only thing I could really truly be critical of in the is sort of his motivations, which appears to be money, but I honestly don't know where he's at. He's 200,000, and then he seems to be in, but there was never any kind of him going 200,000. He doesn't do a Han Solo thing, which is fine, but I don't know where Andor sits on this. And then we didn't really get, like, to go back to the Robin Hood joke from earlier. We didn't get our Prince of Thieves moment where he's like, look at all these merry men and what they're doing out here. I believe in the cause. Like, we haven't had that moment yet. So I kind of think it's coming, though. I think that's probably where Luthen is probably sort of like that grad school advisor who puts you on the right thing at the right time, knowing that you really kind of can't handle it, but you will. And then they're getting you where you need to be. I kind of think that's what he's doing. I don't think.
Yeah, none of this has to do with actual money. You know, this has to do with like, can you trust the guy talking to you? You know, like he will give him the money. It has nothing to do with like the actual money. It has to do with building some kind of trust in like the shortest amount of steps possible. Because what else? You know what I mean? Like, what else can you do? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so when and then, like, you know, but when they like land the ship, he's thinking about ripping him off. He when he goes out there to talk to the contact. He goes to like steal the ship. He like literally looks at the controls like, I'm gonna do it, and the droid's like, it's a Fondor droid. It's like, don't even fucking think about it, homie. You know? And
every move you make, every step you take, I'm watching you.
But I believe that he considered stealing the ship after being offered the money, right? Or does he get offered the money
No, it gets before. Matter of fact, he doesn't even agree to do it until after he admits that he didn't care about the fucking part shit, you know. It's like, I'm after you. So I just think like that's his like instincts kicking in. Like, this is my one chance to get out of this fucking thing. Otherwise, I'm stuck here. You know.
Yeah.
I don't, like as a cat who's like, you know, I did a bit of running. I had this running away phase for like 2 years. You know, like when your parents leave you tend to go through that kind of weird shit.
Sure.
And so like I remember there was this part like in the 5th grade when I realized I could just leave. I don't have to be in class. Like,
yeah.
You know, and I did. I just left. And so, like, I ended up in a cop car because my dad's friends with the sheriffs, and it was a fucking nightmare. So there is that point where you realize you could just run away, but there comes a point, too, where you're like, I'm just going to end up right back in this situation anyway. You know, like, running only gets you so far. So I think a lot of that's kind of going on. Like, do I want to do this, not do this? Where's he going to go, though? I mean, there's literally his faces on every fucking holonet anywhere, you know? Plus, when people call you Clem, I mean, you got to run with that. I mean, if I could get called Clem for 5 days, you know?
Well, and then Clem was his stepfather's name, or his adoptive father's name. The guy who takes him, that was Clem. So he's like, so it's showing a little bit of reverence for that guy, I think, which is, you know, interesting. Yeah, they kind of, he tries to pull the vet card, so to speak, on Luthen by talking about his service on the Mud Planet, and then he's like, actually, so he kind of paints him as being a deserter at the same time, which I found a little bit interesting that he would where Luthen's coming at this whole thing from, because Luthen must believe that he's not a deserter if the cause is just and makes sense. He must have,
he knows
for whatever reason.
So whatever money anything he's stealing, anything he's doing, it's just to get back at the Empire. It's not for personal gain. He's already done that math, you know? That whole, like, you were just a cook shit. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, when people find out, you know, say you were in the military and they're like, oh, you were just you were just a cook. And I'm like, those fuckers, dude, like, they never get any holidays. They gotta work Thanksgiving. They gotta be up at 4. Like, being a cook is actually one of the harder fucking jobs. Everyone hates you because the food sucks anyway. So so like, but I have been there. I have been there before, and they're like, "Oh, you were only a tanker for like a year and a half, Rob, and you never went to con." There's always that kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, "All right, man," but like, I did survive by running. Would you have survived? Would you have ran? No, you would have been killed. There was no point.
Before I forget, I'm going to get on this really quickly. A little side note thing I keep seeing just around the internet that is like annoying the shit out of me. Is I keep seeing Gilroy said there wouldn't be any cameo, there wouldn't be any fan service. Well, and then you go to that room with all of his antiques and stuff, and you see all of this shit. Gilroy doesn't know what the fuck any of that is. He didn't pick it. He didn't design it. He didn't paint it. He didn't wake up and organize it. He said, put shit in the room. And then if it looked bad, he probably was like, he and the director were probably like, no, get rid of that. And then if it was fine, it's Star Wars. Good. It looks right, you know?
What's he supposed to have Vader's fucking hand in there? Like, what's he? Here's Anakin's dick that got burned off. Like, I don't know. Like, it's an antique store.
This is a true burnt Skywalker sausage. No, it's completely like irrelevant to what they're doing and what they're talking about. Like, what's in the background stuff isn't what they're talking about.
You just got a whole goddamn show with Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Can't you fucking be happy? Like, that's what I say. Go be happy. Yeah.
But anyways.
So he lies.
So he lies.
He colludes with the NDAs. It's a Sith witch hunt.
Lies.
Like it's
deceit. NDAs. that's what's happening right there. The Saw Gerrera.
Oh, it hurts so much to laugh right now. I can't do it.
But anyways, so I like when there's like a couple like little subtle moments I picked up on my second time watching it too. Once we have Andor walking with the rebel lady, I don't remember her name right now, but the blonde rebel lady, like going up. Oh, whenever he mentions
Val?
Luthen, yeah, Val. Whenever he mentions
that's my mom's name. That's how I remember.
Oh, Valerie, yeah, Valerie Harper. Yeah. Whenever he mentions Luthen, she goes, "I don't know who you're talking about." Every time, she denies his existence like through and through, like. But I thought that was
the little Wade motherfucker, the little Wade guy, right? I'm calling him Wade for now.
Yeah,
I don't remember his name. He's Force sensitive, right?
Probably.
I'm Star Wars. I'm gleaning because he goes. I feel he's committed. I feel like this is a world where like they have to believe they don't know what they're talking about to evade shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my thing was like you have that, but then you also have Deidre going, it's a filling or whatever she says, and you know, is Deidre Force sensitive? Not really, obviously not. I'd say even
it's got that Randy Quaid hat though.
But yeah.
Yeah, Randy Quaid hat, man.
But I yeah. So I mean, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised though if he ended up being somebody. I mean, I was like, what if he's fucking Kyle Katarn from Kenobi or something? I think was he Latino? Was that little boy Latino? I don't know. Can't remember now. He was sort of like fair skinned but darker, like in certain like in his features. So it's probably not, obviously. But I was wondering if they were doing something like that, you know. And they do reference the partisan front and all that kind of stuff, which does say, you know, they mentioned Saw Gerrera and another guy who had a funny name. Can't remember what it was. It was like Giggles McGoogles. I can't remember what it was though. These are like, he'll cut your head off if you fall asleep. So it's like, so they know of these other groups and of these like other people. So it's like the alliance is coming together in some way at this point. And it does sound like Saw Gerrera is still. We know Saw's coming into the show, but it does sound like they are still sort of trying to bring it all together. So I'm guessing they're going to try to bring it all together, and that's going to be like the faction that they're like, these fuckers are just too crazy. We can't. This right. Two tubes guy, he won't flush. He just won't. He refuses to flush. We can't have that. It's going to break morale. So I think we might see that in this series potentially, anyways. But yeah. But the once we got like to the camp and stuff, like it didn't feel dorky. It didn't like everybody is sort of worried and mad about the plan. Like I felt the annoyance at having rehearsed for something and then having this wild card brought in like a few days before. And then you have the tension.
Like when I show up on the cast, right?
Yeah.
I show up and ruin the whole fucking thing. A year in, you're like, why is he still here?
Yeah.
I don't have a job. You know, that's basically
you know,
like, I'm available.
Patrick said, "Did we ever get a leak to the Indie trailer?" Yeah, the Indie trailer leaked today. We got a copy of the leaked trailer, and so tomorrow or something we'll go over it like shot by shot. We can't play the trailer; they'll just strike the video, whatever. But shot by shot, we can do so, and we will. So anyways, but yeah, the cam and stuff. So then, but we have this like juxtaposition in the episode between our rebels out in nature and sort of like, communing with eating roots and shit, but kind of that. Sure. And then we have the opposite where we get into the Imperials and like the brutalist architecture of where that security officer goes
that back
home.
And forth on the editing was really great. I mean, you definitely you don't need, this is where I'm like, I don't notice the lack of wipes at this point because the difference is such a contrast. And again, that's just solid art direction. It's just knowing that your color palettes and your shape design is going to be completely different, anytime you cut to, so you get it. And that is a downside to like a lot of Star Wars design. Like a lot of Star Wars design sort of just falls into that Force Unleashed, what's that one that came out with the redhead dude that everyone loves, the fucking First Order, Jedi Order, whatever, Jedi Fallen Order. It has that Fallen Order sort of like 4K like Joe Johnston look, but when you go planet to planet, you just can't really fucking tell the difference. You know what I mean? Like you have to use time of day environments, and this is a downside to Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith when everything's in a volume, right? A green screen. You just can't, like when they're in that fire pit, right, area having that conversation, the rebels, right? Way different than when old Cara Dune's having a conversation in a hut on a volume, right? Like you just totally feels way different. There's just no way. And I totally get budgets and shit. I get all that, but this is the difference, Like sometimes they pull it off, man. I mean, Dagobah pulled that off, but they had to really fuck that set up to make that work, right? Everyone got sick and shit.
No, that was Hoth. That was Hoth.
No, but like the Dagobah set had fucking snakes and bugs and dirt and mud everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's rain. And it's a rain set, so like that couldn't have. I'm sure that was one of the days where Luke was like, "Cloud, I'm not there."
Wait,
sometimes they can pull it off.
Tyrant says, "Just got here. The lack of whites, man. Sometimes I hate this. What is that a thing? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. What the lack of whites? Okay. Anyways, yeah,
dude, group of people were wearing white outfits.
True, dude. When Luthen mentioned the Rakatan Empire, I talked to myself and said, "Yeah, Tony didn't write that down. Yeah, exactly. He wrote like historical Star Wars insurgents, and then said that in an email, and then they wrote him back, and they're all, here are some that you could potentially add in, and then he added it in. That's probably what happened, most likely." So Mon Mothma's apartment looked more expensive than the entire Kenobi budget. Yeah, I mean, and that's what we see is we see these people living, I mean, basically in squalor on the ground, trying to survive TIE fighters flying over their heads and shit. Meanwhile, you look at Mon Mothma getting back to her place, and boy, is it sweet, Like I said last night, he's got a Nintendo 64 with Donkey Kong Country in there. That guy plays it. Her husband.
You know what it reminds me of? When you and I like to go to Farrell's, right? Or we like to go to Suncoast, but then we have to step into a Macy's or go to La Jolla, and you're like, oh shit, or Rodeo Drive, or
walking through Macy's to get to Suncoast. Yep, you're making sense to me now.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, there's chandeliers in the mall? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
How much are the $300 for jeans?
But when we get to the opening meeting, like, we don't know if Mon Mothma knows Luthen. Like, Luthen just put his wig on and his fancy rings, and he's done his mirror stuff, and then he lands and he meets with Mon Mothma, and they play the fake pleasantries because I think they're performing for the new limo driver that Mon Mothma has, because they keep changing.
I didn't think they were all swingers during the Old Republic. Like,
before
the younger days, yeah,
different time. Oh yeah,
yeah, and it took away their swinger habit, so now they're all pissed off about it.
Mon Mothma's husband will give dudes great massages, and he gets invited to all the hot tubs for sure.
Weird though, Mon Mothma's husband likes to suck his own thumb now. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's a baby, but we don't king shame. We don't king shame,
No, it's his thing. It's not my thing.
Yeah. But anyways, he also squats and pretends to be a Jawa and like touches the electronics. He's into it. It gets him going. He's like,
he's got Jawa Bush. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Yeah.
Or Aro Bush, as it's known on.
Aro. Oh no. God, Aro
in
Bush.
some cultures.
Yeah. So then then we have like that really good moment where they finally like get around the corner where they're out of you know, where the driver could hear, and then you have his wife kind of pulling cover, pulling him want to see some coins. Is that his
wife? Because I was like, did we win that, or is that just his assistant?
I believe that at the early documentation in like Empire magazine and stuff was saying it was his wife.
Okay, then we won that one.
So because
we lost the TIE fighter thing, right?
Yeah,
we lost that one. They got me with that one.
I think good
we sound
won,
design
we won
on the TIE fighters, by the way.
Oh yeah, loud, scared the shit. I was like, "What? Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah,
they were like those guys who drive down the street with their engines all loud because they want like, look at me, got a car. Yeah. So, anyways, though, like you have like it broken, like you don't even know if they know each other, and then all of a sudden, like boom, they go through and they're talking in the shadows, kind of thing. Thought that was well done, really really good moment, and all of the actors keep up with one another. Like we could have had a situation, we don't, but we could have had one where Mon Mothma acts like she's in Revenge of the Sith and just can't act at the level of these other players. But she's Mon Mothma, so that's who we got. Like that could have happened, but that's not what's happening here. Everybody's fucking on, and they nailed it. The scenes all work perfectly. They're great, and there's like intrigue in those scenes. But then if you're just a Star Wars idiot like myself, you're like looking at the background, going, "Oh, look, it's a Chewbacca helmet, you know, in the background there. Neat. That's neat.
Welcome to nerddom." Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it's not the point, but it's always nice to have something in the background to look at as well, you know. And so I appreciated like all of those moments. But yeah, then we get back to her apartment, and Mon Mothma gets back to her apartment, and we got like her husband's a little opulent turd. He doesn't care that people are suffering. He's invited Masamita and his bald girlfriend over to hang out and have some beers after work. And she's like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like,
yeah, I invited Bill Barr. Barr. Oh shit, you know?
yeah. It's like,
and Kellyanne Conway over for dinner.
Yeah,
you
know? Yeah. Kellyanne's coming over for kebabs. No.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you know who you remind? There's another.
Matt Gaetz is bringing his young friends by.
I felt he easily could have been played by Morbius. Who's that motherfucker? That dude from 50 Seconds to Mars. The Joker dude.
Oh yeah,
he's got that kind of vibe, right? That like
I think it was Nick McCulty.
Morbius.
Yeah, Nick McCulty.
Yeah, McCulty.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, that leak from 4chan is hilarious in the context of what we have seen in the last couple of episodes. Can you imagine all of a sudden Tamora Morrison walks into frame? "Hey, what's up, guys?" And then they're like,
"You know what?
The bodyguard." No.
This is the perfect opportunity for them to redo the Beetlejuice scene with Lothar and the Asian chick, where they come in and they all get possessed by shrimp.
Oh,
and they're doing
yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
But
they have a seance and shit. They resurrect. You know, they have a seance for the Sith Lords. You know, we'll have a little seance. It'll be fun. And they all get possessed, and they do Hawaiian dances.
Meg had the scoop that Masamita would be in the show, and they would just name dropped his position was. So I think it's looking good for that probably happening. Got to sneeze, sorry. But
yeah, Luthen's shop reminds me of those Playmobil stores filled with toys you can't afford. Like, you thought Legos were expensive until you went to a Playmobil store, and everything was like $600 for fucking toys you can't even build into new shit.
Yeah. Aria says it's Plo Koon back there. Look at Plo Koon. He's
I can't see nothing.
Yeah, it's hard to see on the picture anyway. But Jared Leto, thank you, Jonna. Jared Leto, also known as Nick McCulty. around here in case we ever have to mention him again. Wait, did they name drop Masamita? They name dropped the what do they call him? The Vizier or whatever, the Vizier, whatever, something like that. And that is the that's his role. That's like what the vice chancellor kind of role is called or something. They named that with Sly Moore. And so those creeps are coming to dinner, basically. So it's gonna
what if they come in and they're acting like the prequels, like they're in a completely different movie. And she goes, and then they're having like that like Gilray conversation. And he goes, you know, and you're like, all right, so this is two Star Wars. This is a tale of two Star Wars.
Masamita, can I lick your face horns? And you're just like, what is this?
Okay, why did the show Leto thing, right?
Why did the show go here? Why are they doing this now? And Gilroy's like, I really wanted to explain and explore the other cultures.
Yeah, so you can see how I see this shit, you know.
But anyways, yeah, I felt but I felt like just the tensions upon tensions, and Mon Mothma actually didn't have as much work as I thought she would in this episode, but they laid a lot of layers of bullshit that lady's dealing with, like in a row, like and successfully. And you can see that like the levels of stupid that she's dealing with. Oh yeah, that was the other thing too. Apparently in a shop,
you can't say it's her show now for certain. You know what I mean? You can't use. I mean, the assholes will do that anyway because that's what they do. But you can't objectively say that. Like it's ridiculous because we spent plenty of time with Andor.
Or early on, they were saying like a few months ago, they were saying that we had like 2 full episodes that were just her for the most part. But I think this was supposed to be one of them, and I wouldn't say it feels like it was all just her. Apparently in the shop, you can see Indiana Jones whip frozen in carbonite. Yeah, there's like a square carbonite like thing with Indy's whip on the inside. You can see it. It's true.
And Mon Mothma was like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh no, Baymax and Sly Moore is coming to sing Nothing Compares to You to Mr. Mon Mothma to make Mon jealous. I'm gonna say it's even worse than that. They do turn on the karaoke machine and fucking Masamita picks Bohemian Rhapsody every fucking time. That's just like 5.5 minutes. It's like, come on, dude.
And her husband's like, jizz. I love jizz. Let's play some jizz. And I have to explain this one to my wife. You know?
No. Do you think? Do you think she's gonna have to kill her husband?
Oh, kill her husband or allow her husband to take the fall?
I mean, I'm kind of getting like some like Walter White level of like, kind of something like that's gonna happen.
I could see her pinning it on that dude, you know, easily.
Yeah.
You know, when it's time, you know, to he looks like collateral damage, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like she's like, you know, when she tells that guy, like when you know just what she's told us on screen, let's just pretend we've never seen anything from Star Wars before. That lady's like,
okay,
there's people are like basically suffering, they're dying, and these people are making it happen. And he's like, well, can we just have some fun at dinner? Come on, bitch. You know, he starts doing that. You know that when she
towels.
Yeah. When she, I mean, but he's not listening to her this whole time. So you know just from that right there that it's not a good marriage. If it ever was, it's not anymore. And by the way, somebody told me they've been married since she was like 16 or something. And I'm like, where did that come from? Where did that come from though? I don't. Is that real? Or is that like a joke? Is it like a meme that's got on? You know.
No.
That
I write that in all my scripts. Indy with the 16-year-olds, and you know, this dude. That's part of the deal. Steven and I we're pretty cool with that. Yeah.
Tyrant says, no, Rob, the internet assholes just go around saying fuck Tony Gilroy now. Uh-oh.
FTG hashtag.
All right, so they spent extra money on Mon's apartment because of the Sly and Mask cameo. Got to get those lovely shots. I just pray to God that the royal guards also walk in. You know, the other thing to remember too is that when you are making this show at Pinewood, you have just like a pedigree of very, very solid talent that has been doing film and productions for a really, really long time. Like,
yeah, had they shot Alien 2 in LA, it would not have looked the way Aliens.
Yeah. and the people in LA are fantastic too, but it's just a whole different like
well, that's what pissed
culture and
fucking
years
Ridley Scott off when they shot Blade Runner. It was such a fucking nightmare because he just had a different way of doing things, and you can see material design in LA is different than the material design in the UK. I'm not saying for better or for worse, it's different. Like, matter of fact, the Australian material design is awfully weird on the prequels. Like, it's just all Disney big box store, you know? It's like molded plastic. So I tend to think that maybe because theater's pretty active out there, that they're used to like real set dressings, you know what I mean? And not like put it just in front of the camera. One frame out and we don't need to build it kind of mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's also too like these. I mean, I've talked to the Pinewood cats a few times, and then sometimes they'll just be like, yeah, and we used whatever polystyrene, whatever the fuck, I don't know, some shit. And they're like, because on screen it looks like more chalky, and it's just like you're like, what? Oh wow, like they're sort of they know what to use on certain shit. So that's I think what we're seeing in the show is just that level.
To be fair, we're way better with puppets though. So, like, let's be honest. The American Muppets is way better than British Doctor Who Muppets. Like, it's not even close. Like, so, we have our strengths.
But hey, the Australian Farscape puppets, not anything to shake a stick at. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Aria says, which is also the Henson Company going to Australia. Aria says,
Paul Hogan. Which is
oh, is he a puppet? I thought so.
Yeah.
Aria says, it was so refreshing seeing the anger from Luthen. Look at me. Yeah. No, it was good. It's like you start to see that military discipline. Kind of, like popping up from when they're not a military, and Luthen though, man, that guy, like I said, just fascinated by that character, and I think it's gonna, like I said, I think eventually we're gonna have Cassian's sister coming back in. I think she's gonna be a problem, whether she's on the opposing side or just a risk. And I think Mon Mothma's husband, I think we may end up seeing a lot of like sort of their lives have this collateral damage effect as well. Like you were saying, collateral damage. Like where I think we might see that like happening here, because you can't kill the characters. We know, I mean, you could kill Luthen, but you can't kill Mon Mothma. You can't kill Cassian. And so you might have to hurt them in order for us to milk the drama from them, from those characters. And man, it's I don't know, I'm just like super, super pleased with the whole thing, even down to once we cut back. Well, before I forget, Karn, what's his name? Serial Karn or some shit. Karn has to go home to mom. Oh man, I mean, you're trying to like climb your way up the thing. One day, the very next day, you're having a knock on your mom's door and she's slapping you in the face like she's Princess Leia to Poe.
I like her neighbor who's like, ooh, drama.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of thinking that when Deidre goes and starts to dig further and can't let it go, that she's going to figure out that he was the one who couldn't let it go and was uncovering stuff originally. And I think she might sort of bring him into the fold. She might be how he gets reconnected up to where he wanted to be originally, probably. And that might be kind of like how it all comes together for him. And then, but the other side of things,
the question is if his sector is now overrun by Imperials, does he take ownership of that, or does he join them? That's the question. This show can go either way.
Yeah. That's kind of like the other question too is, will these characters be Krennics till the death, or will they be sort of like Callus, who were those Imperial types stooges and then literally can't do it anymore eventually? Because Deidre kind of like
it would.
She
like
seems
when the
evil,
big fat
but
dude raises his hand to speak, and the Imperial guy's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Like I've seen that. I've seen that in the military. You're like, this is not a raise your hand fucking moment, asshole. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
and then he opens
you got your hand up, drop. Like that's what he should have done. Like if it were a real, if he were, he would have just dropped. Just you want to stick your fucking hands out. Just keep doing it.
But yeah, last night I was saying that Deidre reminds me of a different take on Krennic. Krennic is the working class dude trying to make his way at Harvard, and they're putting him through the ringer, using him and stepping all over his class. She's not unlike that. She's clearly like not of their pedigree.
I thought she's the person Mon Mothma's trying to put in the group.
Maybe.
To be honest with you, that was my money.
Yeah. Well, she maybe, but she definitely, like, I almost feel like if she was, she wouldn't want to go after, like, she's like literally saying, I'm seeing these patterns. I don't know if she would be calling out the patterns unless she's going real deep cover.
That's the way. Yeah, that's the way you go real deep cover.
Trying to get trying to get authenticated. And then
they're like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, oh, I guess I don't. Oopsie, my bad.
Maybe, yeah, it could be. It could be. It could also be Saw Gerrera. That was my assumption.
Oh, is that what you saw?
I was assuming that it was going to be like Saw, and then.
Why would she be hanging out with Saw though? I figured whoever she's talking about's on Coruscant. I don't see Saw walking around Coruscant.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I would love to see him walk into Luthen's shop and just start knocking shit over on purpose. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, what is this? The tears of angels from Diego. I will drink it. Just starts drinking it and smashing it. 2 tubes is banging out. 2 tubes puts the fucking Chewbacca helmet on. Yeah, that would be a good time. If it was an 80s movie, that's what would happen.
Yeah, he's just being a dick, just thrashing all of his shit up, just to be a dick.
But yeah, well, maybe he shows up. He's like, I can get you concert tickets. Yeah, remember that when they steal the car? Remember, he's a scalper. Remember Phoebe Cates' boobs?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Anyways,
no.
Yeah, no. So anyways, though, yeah, that's where I'm kind of like wondering is, or like my early speculation here is we have 2 of them now. We have 2 of these tight butt little rascals, and they're are they both going to stay evil, or are we going to have one defect? You know what I mean? Do we have 2 so they can do it, but so they can have, like, they can eat it too, have one do that and one do the other thing, kind of situation. But I am with you though. As far as that goes, and that when we get to the camp, we see that practical speeder bike that was beautiful that fucking pulls up with that guy on it, and he's a fucking
design.
Yeah, and he's an Imperial, but he's an Imperial defector. He's the man on the inside there, and he has that accent and everything, his old fancy pants.
He reminds me of the guy who played the Shaft character, and I'm gonna get you, sucker. That great actor, I forget his name.
Oh shit!
Every hero needs a good theme song.
Hey Chris, whenever you want to hang out, dude, you're always welcome, man. Yeah, but
he's hanging out with his girl. I've seen his Instagram. He's, he doesn't want to hang out with us. He's got, he's living the man's life, not us nerds.
I don't blame him at all.
Tennis star.
Yeah, he's
going
out there.
He's living the Coruscant life and shit,
marrying 16-year-old Mon Mothma and shit.
Oh, no, don't put that on, Chris.
Oh, sorry. Well, I learned that it's a tradition on that planet.
That fixes it.
Yeah.
That makes it all better.
Oh, he says that's my cousin, dude.
That's the real tradition.
Well, dude, tell your cousin and say,
I'm letting you know how it comes. I'm letting you know how it comes across, Spreezy, just so you know. You may want to add some description. You may want to add some descriptions to your post, buddy.
if if in a few months a few years we have Spreezy's son, he's like, I'm Spreezy's son. I like Star Wars. Then we know what happened. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it's good. It's good enough for Giuliani. It's good enough for me. Sorry.
Ari says Mon is trying to add Bail Organa into the group. Hence why she's so adamant that it happens. Perhaps that seems totally possible. But I'm kind of under the opinion that that's possible. But it would seem like they already know each other from the get-go during the Clone Wars.
I don't see Gilroy bringing up characters like he mentioned Saul Guerrero. They mentioned Saul Guerrero by name in this episode. We see this Imperial officer. I don't see her talking about characters in a very proactive way, and them not in the series. And he's not in the series, so
that we know of. It could be though. I mean,
unless it's some shitty hologram added at the last second, like I doubt that.
Once again, Lucasfilm's like Jimmy Smits. You didn't see that coming, did you guys? Everybody loves Jimmy Smits. Let's keep that one under wraps.
It's deep fake Smits. Jimmy deep fakes.
Yeah. But once again, I think Deidre being the quote spy, or the contact, Bail Organa, Saw Gerrera. I mean, I think those are three fine candidates for who it could be, who she's speaking of, and could be a totally new character for all we know. But I'm not convinced that one character is necessarily force sensitive. Probably though, it's probably what it needs in Star Wars.
I suspect because it was done in a way that was consistent with the force being used in Rogue One. By the way,
yeah.
Which is like off the beaten path, not direct. Like Luthen having a cane that resembles a lightsaber kind of shit, like.
Gerald Jones says, plot twist. Deidre is actually Cassian's sister. What?
Yeah, Deidre was literally just turning tricks on that planet.
If she's a good spy. If she's a good spy. Well, no, but I mean, I do doubt that one. But I would say like there is a chance that you go undercover as a sex worker, you go out there, you get what you needed, you get information from the people, and then brought it back. You know what I'm saying? No, but that doesn't feel the narrative would be highly deceptive in how they show and present Deidre to us, like from the very start. But it's possible. But I wouldn't bet on it.
On that one. I would put money on that one. Yeah.
All right. Wait. What is Chris sending here? Little Chris. Wow, man, Chris's cousin is beautiful though. Good work, Spreezy family. You guys are not ugly over in the Spreezy zone. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I figure we all got the shaft, and these cats got all like
this motherfucker. Out there in fucking
maybe that's
Greece.
The price to pay for being so entertaining, huh, Jason? We have to look ugly. We are more entertaining than Chris, though, right?
He's pretty fucking entertaining, dude. He's pretty charming.
Shut up! I'm trying to make my ego feel better. He can't be entertaining. It's the hair, damn it.
Hey, Rob, want to block him and not be his friend anymore? No,
because then I won't get all the cool tennis picks, dude.
That's true. Sam says maybe we'll see Luthen put on a wig and pretend to be Cassian's sister. Oh, Cassian, it's me, your sister. I want you to help my friend Luthen now. And he's like,
we need to run Chris's. Hold on, we need to run Chris's tennis footage through one of those AHA video makers, right? Take on Spreezy, take on Spreezy. Yeah, it's got the whole look.
Matt says, highlighted my comment and then skipped it. Classic. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Rissman. I did not mean to pissman the Rissman. Okay. If it is Bell, I hope they keep him off his damned phone. Bell fell. Yeah. I gotta say the Bail Organa who can't find his baby girl, he's not cut out for this world. I think.
Can I make one complaint about the episode?
Luthen would beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
I got one nitpick, and this is like the minorest of minor nitpicks. But we just saw an episode where Luthen told Andor to not use comms, And then when we're on with the rebels, I go, did they say we got 2 comms? We only got 2 comms. Like, did they mention using comms?
But they're not. I don't think they're using them like to say, Red 5, what are you having for lunch? I think it's for the mission. So I think
I hear you,
brains,
but I'm just
our
letting
brains
you
could
know.
even say like they're in a case with no, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing there, and then they're gonna turn it all on and go to the mission.
It's the minorest of stupid things. It's just weird to make a big deal and then keep. You didn't need the comms line in at all. It doesn't really make, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, you know, the average person goes, what's a comms? I don't know. I could just see that being a nitpicky.
Yeah.
Thing. Like, if that's my complaint, you're doing fine. Like
yeah, no, I kind of thought that was going to continue. I think that is probably a fair critique, is that he's like, lesson 1. And then it kind of like does like a thing. And then it kind of like, I think he says another one. And then he doesn't really continue to do it anymore. Maybe it will continue throughout the series. But
take comms me. I have 1. No, I have 2.
Matt Risman says, oh wait, no, see I almost read yours again, Matt Risman. Plot twist, says Mr. Jones. Plot twist, Cyril is his sister and so is his mom. Yeah, I hope that they don't go full Game of Thrones and we see him making out with his mom, though. That's going to be really, really gross.
That's that Star Wars fan that wants lineages and everything to be like tied into something, and it's like, just stay away from that. It's not worth it. This is why Homeboy couldn't finish those fucking books, you know, because he wrote too many fucking people connected to others, and he trapped himself. He doesn't know where to go. I'm telling you right now, man, like when you do that, there's a point where like, well, none of it'll make sense. So I guess I just won't write the books now.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to go backwards for it to make sense, not forwards. You know, you don't want to be in that position.
Do you think, Lobo, do you think when Luthen says, don't use what you can't control, do you think his wife goes, that son of a bitch? I think so.
I think Mon Mothma's husband goes, ooh.
Oh.
Suck my thumb.
Next says,
he's a biter.
Why do we need to see, or we do need to see Saul fall out of grace with the circle? Yeah, I think that's completely possible there. 2 guys, 1 com. Good one, Chris. Baymax says Jason's Saw impression is pretty good, not Rob level good, but have a hearty back pay for effort. Thank you, I appreciate it. Or back pat.
I'm in too much pain to even attempt this. The laughing's hurting enough. I couldn't imagine. You see, it's gonna kill me. I can't do it. Ghost dog.
Yeah, remember those pigeons? That was cool. Anyways,
yeah, they just stole it from Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm. So we have the dinner party. We have Cyril getting slapped by his mom, but mommy loves him. He's a little mama's boy. No dad, so he's overcompensating, probably one of those guys, I guess. And then we got the mission. Now the mission itself, I love it. On the way to school today, my kids, I didn't let them stay up last night, and my kids are like, "What happened? Tell us what happened," because they want to know, and then they want to watch it because that way they can follow it better. I'm like, okay, so I told them like the whole story on the way to school.
Fair enough.
And when I told my son about like how they want to steal the weapons, but when the TIE fighters scramble to chase them, there's going to be a meteor shower. He was like, yeah, like my kid was like into it. And I was like, yeah, that's a great plan.
You had to explain, and then the DeLorean caught on fire on the model set, and you had to put it out with an extinguisher. Right? This is what I wanted from the Imperial, the Inquisitor Fortress. I wanted this sort of like, here's the. You remember like an Iron Eagle when it's like salami? This represents the fucking airfield. That's my lunch.
If the show hadn't been envisioned as a limited series, I definitely think we would have had that time. They would have had the time to expand that or to do that. But anyways, was that a Back to the Future callback? When he is
every mission callback, but yeah.
Well,
it didn't catch fire though.
No, it didn't catch fire. But I was, as that scene was happening, I started thinking about that kind of trope of the model maker for the mission, and then who's like, the joke is some form of don't break it, or essentially like I didn't have time to paint it. Right? That's always like kind of like the joke. And
my favorite part is when he compliments him on the craftsmanship. Oh, thank you. I didn't have time to paint it. It's like because he's a nerd. He's a model maker, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, and it's definitely making fun of that model maker kid that we all knew, or But was Back to the Future the first to do it? Was the question I started thinking of. If anybody could think of that trope before that, let me know. I'm curious if that's what
the Great Escape.
That kind of joke about it.
I want to say that because they have to. I haven't seen The Great Escape in a while, but I want to say like that had to. It has to be one of those Rio Bravo fucking films. You know what I mean? Where they're like
it's
laying out the Lincoln Logs and shit. But Back to the Future is the first time I remember ever seeing it.
Yeah, Back to the Future, like Star Wars fans who hear like MacGuffin or something, like that's their point of reference for a MacGuffin.
And then Iron Eagle.
Hitchcock. You know what I mean? Though, yeah. For us.
This is the Bluebird. Like that. Chappie Sinclair.
Yeah. Chris is busy hanging out at Mom Mothma's apartment. That motherfucker.
True that, man. True that. He's living the good life.
Already wants episode 5. I know. Like I said, I am. This isn't like a real critique. The only way they could have made this better for me is that they just released it once a month. And it was all 3 episodes at once, just like the little movie, so I could just enjoy the whole thing. That's the only thing that would have made this better for me so far. But I'm happy.
Look,
I'm not complaining.
There's no one way to do this, and it just depends on the mileage on like what you enjoy. Because I myself prefer a week to week, but I think like when it's 38 minutes, then I'm like maybe 2 at a time, Like Stranger Things, when you're doing an hour and a half fucking episodes, that fucking give me that once a week, Yeah. But when it's like She-Hulk and you're like, this is like 22 fucking minutes once a week, like this is weird. Like it is like, all right, this is odd. And there's only 6 of these things or 8 of these things. This is really weird. So, yeah. But when they released Visions all at once, that was a real pain to like. As much as I like to take in, the thing. So like, I think like 2 of those 8-minute things at a time were probably better than all at once. Because like fucking watching all those anthologies are so different to one another. It's just hard to take in the different tone. Especially when every episode they're mentioning, I have a bad feeling about this, and you're just like, you fucking dicks. My only real complaint about Visions was someone should have said, hey, you guys are all using that joke.
Yes, so-and-so called it. Sorry, already called that one. Yeah, I'm on Visions. I personally would have preferred a daily release on that, like for
daily. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That way we could have kind of lived with each one daily, and each could have had its own little time. But there's really no right way to do any of this. So, and only we're the only people who will ever have to deal with this release schedule. Then it will all just be there sitting, all 12 chapters of the first part for everyone to go straight through in the future. But anyways, that plan, I love the staging and the setting and where they set it, the environments, this like beautiful Scottish looking Highland after we've been in this company town for the previous 3 episodes. It like lets us breathe. And then when we get to Coruscant, which is a different version of the urban environment, we have that to like sort of let us, by the way, sort of decompress. To speak about breathe.
Material, to speak a little bit about that, and to elaborate and to bring up material design, the material on her fucking flashy car, that's essentially what you get with the Vespas, but that's how you do it. You know what I mean? Look, it's chromy, right? It's got that sparkly mineral look to it that all those flashy motorcycles have at the carnival. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's got that glitter metallic finish, It's got that 30s deco kind of like, grill and shit, that Great Gatsby look. But that's where it's appropriate,
Yeah, no, once again, that space car on Tatooine would look like garbage. And Tatooine, it doesn't work.
Wouldn't it?
yeah, but it looks. You'd be like,
we are robbing and murdering you in 3 seconds. All the Jawas taking shit. She parks the car and like all the Jawas, they've already pilfered it in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. So one thing that one detail I wanted to like touch on that I thought was a little interesting though about Mon Mothma, her performance, the character. When she wants to shit talk her husband, she has no problems treating the help like they're the help. Do you notice that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She was like, bitch, get out. Like she was completely just like fucking let her have. So I'm curious when these chuds show up to dinner next episode, is she going to lean in and act like the bleeding heart liberal is kind of a joke? Like is she good?
I like the hypocrisy of it. I do like the hypocrisy because it's like, yeah, you're doing well and good. You're on the right side, but at the same time, you're still above it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, Leia's at least down with she's down in the trenches, Like, she's not, like, she's actually on the ship hoarding fucking shit, Like,
yeah.
Fighting dudes. Like, Mothma is like, oh, no. I have to play a larger card. And by the way, get me my espresso, bitch.
Yeah.
I said I'll never forget. There was a time I went to Starbucks years ago, and the chick in front of me, I could hear screaming out the drive-thru. I said, Splenda! Splenda! I mean, bro, it's the first time I'd ever seen that level of, like, customer bullshit, And I've worked fast food. I'd never... But that's the first time I saw that Karenisms, up close.
Yeah,
and that's what I was getting from that.
When I worked at the gas station as a teenager, the owner, it was a high traffic store. Like it was busy all the time, and if somebody was an asshole, he was like, "We don't want him." He's like, "You be nice to everybody, but when they're not nice, you do what you got to do." And yeah, it was fun. Like one time I had a guy come in with a hot dog, and like he made his bun fall apart, and he bought a fucking hot dog, and he's like, "Look at this," and he starts like like doing this, making the bun fall apart in front of me, and I pushed the hot dog. And I'm like, "How about you shove it up your fucking ass?" That was the response.
Clerks.
And then he wants to talk to the boss, so I hit the intercom. Boss comes out of the back. He's all. What happened? I'm all, this guy's bun fell apart. He put it all over the table. I told him he should shove it up his ass. My boss is all, put it up your ass. Walks away in the background. It was the funniest fucking thing ever. Yeah. But yeah. You have to treat people like that. You gotta put them back in their fucking place. I mean, it's bullshit. But anyways,
the people I just say the customers. I'll end it on this. Because I always gotta put this one out there.
This is phrase, important.
The customer is always right is not the full quote. It's the customer is always right in matters of taste. So if the customer wants to wear that stupid fucking poofy shirt, right, from Seinfeld, you selling the poofy shirt. But if that customer says, I should get this shit for free and you should fucking like kowtow and lick my fucking boots, no, not in the matter of service. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, I always feel like I should get an HJ when I'm shopping at Target, right? Customer's right. That's what I get. No,
it's
that's
never from who you want, though.
No, agree to disagree, Rob. Chris Spearman says, I love Mothma's Space Bentley, but yeah, it wouldn't look right on Tatooine. Yeah, that's just one of those things where like I'll never understand why if they had imported those characters from the Ring planet and brought them over, then it would have got a pass. It would have been a lot easier to.
But if it were palatable. A Coruscant dignitary showing up in that, and they're fish out of water, then yeah, it's when you're like this tough biker gang, they're rocking the fucking Bentleys. You're like, the fuck out of here! What are you doing, guys? What are you doing,
John? You know what, Jon Favreau? Like, you're cool, but you're not cool in the right way. You don't get it. Star Wars Santa says, wait, 47 watching, 26 likes. To put the likes for the show, please. Star Wars Santa was watching you. He knows if you didn't do it, you better do it. You better do it now. Thank you, Santa. General Grievous 19 says, Andor with black hearts. Does black hearts mean it's serious? That means it's love. Lord, he's a pirate. But yeah, so we have, so anyways, dinner party's coming. We see that Mon Mothma.
Wait, Jason, just so you know, if you don't deploy the likes, you're not getting coal this year. You're getting NFTs.
Oh, no.
Frosty NFTs. Naked elves. reindeer brutally murdered NFT. All right.
Bestman was telling me about that new Dan Harmon show, and like it's like an NFT funded show, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds like a bad idea. sounds like that was dated.
Game Informer's shopping NFTs. And I know they would not use like my cover art because I'm nobody, but I had to put that one out there. I'm like, yeah, I don't want that shit. Just so we know, I don't want you reselling my fucking cover art I did for your magazine once, as a fucking NFT, which I'm certain they would hit me up if they wanted to, but it's just a game magazine NFT. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's come to this.
I feel like a certain section, a privileged nerd, pushed the NFT thing really hard, and everybody who doesn't know was like, okay, and then they're like, but wait, you're saying we don't own it, and that's when they're like, fucking nerds, get the fuck out of here with that. I feel like we're at the get the fuck out of here with that stage of that. Baymax says Fab was smoking crack when he came up with the Skittle Rangers. I mean. Yeah, I would have pushed
every Rangers.
I would have pushed it further. Honestly,
the Power Rangers all look like Skittles.
King Chris says, "Yeah, we all know what happens if you end up on Santa's naughty list. We've covered this before." Oh shit!
I think those Vespa dudes, they had an opportunity with the cyborg shit to go more like the Reavers in Logan. The Reavers are from the X-Men comics, which were always my favorite villains. There was this whole Outback Australian run in the 80s. That's when Mark Silvestri started drawing the X-Men that dealt with the Reavers, and it was like these mutants that would cybernetically like alter themselves, and they were fucking weird. And it's like there was a real good way to do that, but it literally turns into the Disney Store version of this, and it's just like it's not happening for you, buddy.
Yeah. That didn't work. But everything in this show is working, thank God. Everything is this show. My thing with Star Wars is always, is it doing what it intended to do? Does it look how they intended it to look? And I feel like about 90% of Kenobi looks how they intended it to look. The other 10% looks worse than they intended, and that's why it has such a bad rap. This show, the intention is fucking clear, and the ball is like never ever dropped at all in terms of look, design, the acting, the music. Like it's just fucking. I mean,
well, this is
could not be more happy.
I brought up. I'm not talking shit about Kenobi. It's not that. It's just that I got a good sense on projects when you can tell whoever's at the helm knows what they're making. They have an intended purpose. Boba Fett was the one that to me had like maybe 2 episodes of intention, and everything else was like, oh, I don't know what we're doing. Like the first 2 episodes knew what they were making. Like you don't.
Favreau says it's jazz. It's jazz, dude. He's like, you just kind of wing it, man. It's making it best you go, bro.
Yeah, that the water tree of power. The space lizard thing is one of those things. Like you could look at that as being like either it can go either way. It's something you intended, or it's filler, right? Like, and I guess it kind of works as both, but. To never use that again, for it not to come back at the end, means to me it felt more like a one-off idea filler thing, Yeah. So clearly, I think they definitely knew what they were doing on Mando. Like that comes across very well, but and it comes across here. The other ones, I don't know.
Arya says, with how good Andor is, I hope the Mon party is executed well. It has Massamita and Sly Moore, and please. Let them have good costumes. Yeah, I mean, so far everybody has good costumes. So far, I mean, in the show, but also like I think the party's going to come because of what Meg heard. But what if what Meg heard was because of that quote only, and we don't see the party? There's always a chance that the party happens and Mon doesn't show up, and the husband has to deal with them on his own, and we don't see it. Not saying that will happen or won't happen, but that's also something to consider, But I don't remember if I got to my point earlier on about that stuff with the help. When Mon Mothma gets to the party, if she does, is she gonna play along? Or is she gonna sit there like, I can't, I believe in democracy and I can't pretend, I'm curious what we, how that goes. But I will say one last thing about the Vespas. I don't really care that much about it, but the fact that you guys are still talking about those fucking Vespas 2 shows later shows how bad they dropped the ball on that, because you guys cannot let it go. It is still like
I tend to just move on. I tend to move on.
But
like I don't care about porgs or broom boy. I
love
care about
porgs.
Any of that.
Oh my god, they're adorable.
This one, I was like, you guys, you can't be doing this. This is not good. You can't be doing this.
Yeah. Baymax, the Vespas conceptually weren't a bad idea. The concept art is kind of cool. The execution was horrible, unforgivable. And actually, the actual bikes that they physically made weren't bad though. It wasn't the craftsmanship of the bikes though. It was choices made well before. Like I want to throw that out there, because the people who made the N1 Naboo Starfighter and those, they do good job. They do good work. It wasn't their fault, and I hope that they're not getting the brunt of this. Like, I hope that the people who made those bikes don't feel like it was them, and that the showrunner's not putting it on them as if they fucked it up, because no, it was those colors. It was the colors on the Tatooine thing. I know they thought it was really going to pop on that Tatooine desert and we were going to love it. No.
It reeks of the guy who made Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That's all
I released that story together with the bikes and the N1, thinking that they were connected.
Yeah.
But
that was a good guess though.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got the N1 Starfighter, it's not a bad guess.
Paley Moto could have got a haul from Naboo with the bikes and the Starfighter. They could have bought the Starfighter, could have said, I know where there's some bikes, and they could have bought the kids some bikes to be their runner. Like there was a way of making this all coherent. They just didn't do it. Thankfully, the show does it. Santa, thank you for the super chat, dude.
No,
but buy Rob some NFTs.
To be fair, Jason, I've tipped Santa at least $10 once, so he's just paying me with my own money. So.
Oh, okay. So really, we're all giving it to the Google empire at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Google
they take their 10%.
They're I wish it was 10. I think it's more. Is it 10?
30?
I'm not sure. It's probably 30. Probably Fuckers. 30. But thank you, Santa. Appreciate it, man. And
appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
It's gonna go a long way at the Costco food mart. Like it's gonna go. Gonna get the kielbasa.
I want to go to Sam's Club and get that Polish sausage hot dog with that Coke with the crushed ice. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. Tyrant says, yeah. Wait, who doesn't like porgs? I don't know. I guess this motherfucker. I love porgs. They're adorable. KG says porgs are cute. I don't care who doesn't like them because they're from that movie. Oh yeah. Well, that's why we have this song, and it goes,
okay.
KG, pork lover. KG, the pork lover. Oh, you love that movie. KG,
when my favorite scenes
that they missed the theme song day, so now they got pork.
When my favorite,
it needs work.
When my favorite scenes of the Ewoks are when they get killed or when the porgs are being cooked, it says something. Just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw it in 4D. And when you see it in 4D and he's cooking the porg, it's they put barbecue scent all through the theater. It was fun. It was fun.
That's excellent.
Yeah. It smelled like smoked baby back ribs is what it smelled like.
Smells like barbecue dog hair. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ari says, check the trailer and Mon was sitting in her apartment with boyfriend and a lot of other politicians. Think the party might happen. I think you're right. And once again, to be clear, I didn't doubt Meg's like scoop ever. And I didn't doubt that, we would do it. I'm just always like, let's keep our expectations in check, or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got a theme song. Oh, thank you, KG. Yeah, it needs work though, but we will work on it. We'll work on it, but KG Porg Lover, I feel like it's at least demoed now, and that's how you start.
I feel like KG sounds like a droid name. Yeah, I like it.
And it's kind of cagey though. It's like, is that droid really like doing what I want it to do, or is it like ripping me off?
Sounds like it's the droid that sounds like Tweak from South Park. It's cagey.
He said porgs look tasty as fuck. Darth Maximus. I gotta say, I kind of wish that they had leaned in. not for the SJW side of things, but it would have been like a little bit better if they had kind of leaned in on that a little bit more, because they can return to the, like little tiny character moments that I wish had been in the sequel trilogy were like Chewbacca becoming a vegetarian. And like, but when we see him in Return of the Jedi going for the meat, being that impulsive idiot, gets them trapped by the Ewoks, which is ultimately fortuitous, but not the way to be. And then you get that porg moment. I just felt like there was sort of like,
He's got sharp teeth, Jason. He can't be a vegetarian. It's not a choice for animals.
Overcoming our lesser nature is
He's not
shows growth.
No, Yoda himself is eating frogs in that soup.
Yeah, but amphibians don't have any.
He eats frogs. Literally, Grogu eats frogs alive. He doesn't even kill them first. He just swallows them alive.
No, I'm saying it's okay. It's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings. It's a song. So the porg. Remember how sad he was? He was like, "You ate my dad." Remember that?
Do they sell porg at the Galaxy's Edge?
No.
What a waste.
Kadu though, you can eat Kadu ribs. I love the Kadu ribs. It's my favorite thing at Galaxy's Edge. They have like a little rack of ribs, and comes with this like purple coleslaw. It's fucking great. The actual food inside that place is good.
I like purple cabbage slaw, by the way. It's just got a better flavor and texture. My wife hates coleslaw, but I saw the trailer for the Mando and Grogu at Galaxy's Edge, and I'm like, finally, we could just make this shit Star Wars land and move on with life, So seems they're getting a hint. Thank goodness.
I just wish they would change the whole thing to the era. That would just be. I think that would ultimately be the better solution, because you're going to have show after show after show taking place in that. You're always going to have 2 to 3 years between movies, which is a lifetime in a theme park. And so if you change it to being the Mando universe, that era post Return of the Jedi right now, you know what I mean? At the next revision for the Galaxies, for that one ride, change it to Stormtroopers and Darth Vader. And I think you're good. I think you're
Star Wars land. Yeah. I'm not saying they got to change the name, but just, behind the scenes, like, it's just going to be everything. And we're going to wheel out different shit depending on what we're doing and not stress over this keeping up lore stuff. It just reminds me of the LucasArts era of Star Wars games, where they were trying to make every game, including Masters of Terras Kasi.
Terras Kasi, have some respect.
Yeah. It's like, it's just a fighting game, man. Don't overthink the shit.
Or maybe Bob Paycheck hangs himself in terms of his career. Very quickly. Okay. And then it's gone. And then they're able to actually execute the actual plan of that park under the next leadership, who realizes, we need to make a splash on this, because it's going to get a social media interaction, which is in turn going to bring people to the park instead of the opposite. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes that way eventually, but man.
Yeah, I mean, during the Kenobi run, if they had like a week or two or like a whole month of Kenobi shit where Vader and Anakin, all that shit's running around, you know what I mean? Like, like just fucking tie this shit in, man. Jesus, it's not hard.
I feel like Tyrant's almost giving us a Ghostbusters, Chewie becoming a vegetarian, Ewoks being reformed from their human-eating ways, Jar Jar not stepping in poop, cats and dogs living together. Luke and Melissa, do you think we'll see the flashback of Andor's father's hanging? Also, I'm curious about the clones. I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm going to say, I don't know, but let me ask you this. Would Disney be stepping into problems having the only person ever hung in Star Wars be a black guy? Would that be a problem?
But Nari.
Fair enough. Well, we did it to the white guy. No, I mean, but you know what I mean? I don't know if they would. I'm not saying that they wouldn't. I'm actually just asking like a true question. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Well, they didn't hang him alone. They could have hung a lot of people, and his dad was one of them, right? They could have hung a droid. We saw a droid get his feet burnt in Jedi and ripped apart, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. His feet started smoking before the iron even touched it. It was so hot. Anyways, but I wonder if they would show that, because it's interesting, because you kind of like, you meet Clem, then he's just kind of gone, and then there is that line which is the explanation for what happened to him. And then he takes the dad's name. And I kind of feel like that might be like in a way enough about, about Clem and about that, relationship. And we get it. At the same time, I think what's going to happen, my prediction is Andor's going to go on this mission with these cats. They're going to take the weapons, and then they're going to learn, well, now that you have the weapons, you're able to go back to where you're from, Andor, and try to liberate the planet. Because we do know that they're going to come back. We do know that Biggs is like, let's get those motherfuckers. And so I'm thinking that if the weapons from that are going to essentially fuel the insurgency on what's his first planet called? Ferrix. Yeah, so I kind of that's sort of where my head's at with where this is probably going, based off of just a couple of context clues. But hey, I fucking up to yesterday pretty much thought we were having flashbacks with Luthen because his hair was long and short. I didn't see that wig coming. It's fucking espionage, bro. It's everywhere. So, but anyways, yeah,
now you gotta get a Luthen wig for the next show.
I know I come out,
put on the gold rings. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. I don't like I said before, I don't believe in giving anything a 10. I don't think a 10 is possible. Nothing is perfect. But I give this if I had to grade this, I would give this like a 9 out of 10. If I had to give it a letter grade, I give it an A. I feel like this is pretty much perfect. Any issues that I have are just purely of preference and not
Jason,
really important.
I can't disagree with you more. There are such things as 10s. Lucas relating Ewan McGregor's voice.
The magazine you gave me
is literally a 10.
The magazine you gave me, that perfect 10. That was right. That was a perfect 10.
10 bop.
But 10 bop. No, yeah. I mean, but I don't know.
It's pictures of Spreezy.
Oh man, let's just not go down that road. He's gonna be like, "What'd you say about my cousin?"
Talking about him.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm saying.
I didn't say nothing.
You guys, you think Spreezy's pretty?
What was that tennis movie with Adam Driver? Wasn't he in a tennis movie? We need to deep fake that with Spreezy's face. Yeah, it was a tennis movie. Remember?
It was recent. I didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
guess
you know
what's
what?
gonna be my background tomorrow?
Fucking Timmy's a rebel. He just came in here and he gave it a fucking 10. KG gave it an 8.5, which I'm guessing KG is a highly critical person, and I think that is a stellar grade from KG. You know what I mean? Like
Jason gave it a 9.95, but only because he loves that Ninja Turtle song so much from
Go Ninja Go.
Ya Kid K. Ya Kid K. No, the first movie. 9.95. Yeah, see? Yeah.
I always liked when April's boyfriend's kid or whatever that guy is, the
Danny. I have the toy.
Yeah, I always liked when he has the Sid Vicious shirt on. I always thought that was cool as a kid. I was like,
I have the toy with the Sid Vicious shirt. Like they put it on there.
That's badass. Chapek seems universally disliked by both the public and from the stuff that's come out from various internal groups. But where would Disney go from there? Back to Iger until they find a suitable? No, I don't. I have no idea. I honestly, I don't understand their corporate hierarchy, how it works, why it doesn't, or any of that stuff.
He's not going anywhere. You're going to get at least 10 years of this dude. So that's how I can tell you. Look, they didn't get rid of Eisner. Like Eisner only left because the Pixar thing was the only thing. Like that was a giant colossal fuck up. He burnt that bridge, and they were going to leave and go solo. So unless Paycheck like somehow Marvel can't go solo. They own them. Like they don't have an agreement with them. There's nothing to lose. You see what I mean? Like he's just in it until he decides to get out. So you're gonna get that big thumb looking motherfucker. You're gonna get the fucking what's the dude from Breaking Bad? Hank Schrader. You're gonna get Hank Schrader CEOs from now on. That's all. They're all gonna look like Hank Schrader. Schrader Bob.
Hank is gonna play Paycheck in the docudrama on ABC Family someday. KG says, plus I'm leaving room since I think it'll get better and better from here out. Yeah, I mean that's like what I'm loving about the show is I don't feel like it's all like hinged on some mystery box kind of bullshit thing where I'm like, oh, and then and like the intrigue keeps going, but then we find out, oh, Luton takes his mask off and he's, you know, his sister, and you're like, oh, well, that was the mystery. Like this isn't working that way. This is like so much about life and living in that life that it just hits, and it's they're like nailing it. Like I said before, I don't think this should be all Star Wars. I don't think that that this style of show would be beneficial to the brand on whole. I don't think it would be like if they make a Qui-Gon mini series, doing it in this style is not really going to do it too many favors necessarily. The practical sets and shooting in beautiful locations is for sure. That goes without saying. But you know, sometimes
when it comes to when I say cartoonish, I'm not saying that in a negative light. I love me cartoons. But I would definitely say like Mando tonally fits in a very similar realm as Avatar. Like it's sort of a heightened. Yeah, I know I worked that back in. Thank you. But it works in a slightly cartoonish way. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's more Star Wars thrives in that pulp area. I do think that again they would. There's a difference between. There's a difference between Iron Man 1's cartoonish behavior and, say, I guess Love and Thunder to an extent, which is like over the top cartoonish, right? Yeah. So I think Star Wars benefits from more of that season 1 style or that episode 6 of Boba Fett version of cartoon versus the fucking Dark Forces droids. You know, like that is the part, or I know you love her, man, but that paleo the chick looks like our mom.
Kalimoto?
That's where I'm like, that is really pushing the bar here, you know? Like, it's one thing when it's one character, but if you get her around her drinking friends, you know, and it's a gaggle of those fucking hens, then, you know, it's shot out the door. So,
not enough credit has before we go to the duo from the first 3 episodes that are like in that office, the little weird guy with the thing, you know, like that was pretty funny. I liked it. Reminded me of
was that Deepak Choi? Deep Roy? Is that Deep Roy?
I don't know. Deepak. Yeah, Deep Roy. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It reminded me of in the first Star Trek movie when they put Scotty with the little alien. Kind of had that kind of thing going on to it, didn't it?
Yeah.
But anyways, so shout out to that. But kids get out early today. Right? So I gotta. Was that Deep Roy in that one?
Was
too?
Deep Roy. Yeah.
Anytime
I see an angry alien,
fuck you, Kenny Powers. Fuck you. That's my favorite.
Except for Never-Ending Story, where they dubbed over his voice with the fucking.
I know he's like
British motherfucker.
Hello. Yeah, that was bizarre. But all right, everyone, horrible. We will be back tomorrow to talk about the episode further. Bring your thoughts, share it. Thank you for being a channel member. Like the video and all that jazz. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Rob, I'm going to cut out because I got to hit the road. But I'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go.
Hey! It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.